what exactly is the chess growth triangle? What are the three components of chess growth that help you to take your chess to the next level? Let us understand in this particular video. Hello there, my name is Heramb Bhagwat, and today we are going to understand what are the three important components of chess growth that take your chess to the next level. And before we start with what are the three components, let me first tell you why is there a need to understand these three components. So when it comes to most chess players, they do not think about how they should take their chess to the next level in a systematic way. They are not worried about how they can systematize their chess growth. Instead, they think like, okay, let me just solve some tactics and I would take my chess to the next level. They say, let me play some chess games on chess.com or Chess and automatically my chess will improve. They also think that if I just play tournaments, I would become a stronger chess player. So today in this video, I'm going to break all the myths that majority chess players have, and I'm going to help you to understand that what exactly is it that will help you to improve your chess further. So before we start with the three important things that would help you to take your chess to the next level, which I call as the chess improvement triangle. So let me first tell you how I discovered these three important things which form the chess improvement triangle. So these three important things come from my years of experience of playing chess, practicing chess, and also by training 1,000+ chess players in the chess industry. So these are not some things which I have just picked up from a book and given it to you. These are hard-earned victories, tried and tested methods which will help you to take your chess to the next level. So let's get started with what exactly are these three things. Now, the first thing when it comes to taking your chess to the next level is known as thinking system. Now, you might be wondering, but what exactly is a thinking system? So let me explain. So when it comes to a lot of chess players, lot of local and club level chess players, they do not have a thinking system. They only have random rules which they have accumulated from various different sources. So maybe your coach taught you a few rules, maybe your chess book taught you a few rules, maybe you watched it somewhere on YouTube and you got a few rules. And that's perfectly fine. I'm not against rules, I'm not saying that you should not use rules. That's not what I want to say. But all I want to say is if you just focus on rules, then you get random results. Because let's face it, every rule that you learn cannot be applied in the game of chess. And the worst part is different rules are only possible in different situations. So let's just say, if I say the knight should be in the center, this rule sometimes it would work, sometimes it will not work. You should make an escape square for your king. Sometimes this rule will work phenomenal, sometimes it would not work at all. And that's the problem with rules. Rules just give you an overview of what should be done. And the worst part, rules are not universal. So what we need to understand is we have to focus on things which are universal. If you do not focus on things which are universal, then you are not going to improve your chess forward. Now you might be saying, but Heramb, is there anything which is universal? And if there is, what exactly is the universal part? So there is something which is universal, which can help you to improve your chess to the next level and which can sustain your growth. And that is what I call principles. And these principles, they form a small part of the thinking system. If you learn the principles, you would know how exactly you have to think in a particular situation, and you can use those principles throughout the entire game. And let me tell you, when you learn the principles, when you understand what exactly are those principles, your job as a chess player becomes much simpler, because now you do not have to get into the wide ocean of chess information just to play well. You can learn the principles, you can learn a handful of principles, I can say, and you can play chess much better. And there are various different components which form the thinking system, which majority people are not aware of. So that's the first part, that is the thinking system. Once you learn the thinking system, you start playing chess much better. So the second important component when it comes to a chess improvement triangle is organized training. Yes, and what exactly does organized training mean? So most chess players, they have no schedule, they have no timetable when it comes to chess improvement. All they think is, let me just solve some tactical puzzles and let me play some games online. That is all I need to improve in chess. So you need to understand that there is a difference between fun and practice. These are two different components. Fun is, let's say you are playing games on chess.com for leisure, for enjoyment, and you feel that, okay, I'm not practicing really, I'm just having fun, that's perfectly fine. I'm solving some puzzles, I'm having fun, that's perfectly fine. However, the second part, which is rigorous training, practice, is extremely important. And that does not happen just by playing games or solving puzzles. Well, don't get me wrong, I'm not against solving puzzles, I'm not against playing games. But there should be a structure, there should be a system to solve puzzles, there should be a structure, there should be a system to play games. Only then we can expect rapid improvement. So there should be some organized structure that you have when it comes to taking your chess to the next level. For example, one of the simplest things that you can do in order to understand this mechanism of organized structure is focus on one thing at a time. What exactly do I mean by that? Many chess players, in their desperation to improve, they study the middle game for 1 hour, then they do the opening for the second hour, then they do the end game for the third hour, and this way they improve in no areas. So instead, it is better to focus on one aspect at a time. So let's just say if you are focusing on the middle game part, then you have to focus on the middle game part from the first day to at least 7 days. That's the bare minimum. And then after that, if you feel that, okay, I've understood this concept, let me try to apply it, then you can play games. And this way, when you learn some more, implement some more, you start playing better. So that's the second aspect, very important, that is organized training. And the third important aspect, which majority chess players and even coaches ignore, is known as tournament planning. Majority chess players, they search tournaments the wrong way. They say, oh, this is a tournament which is happening, let me go and play it. This is an event which is happening in my city, let me go and play it. Now, if you're a beginner, if you're just getting started, this approach is perfectly fine. But if you're an intermediate level player, if you have already played chess for some time, if you have been to tournaments already, if you are an international federated player, then this is something which you should not do. Instead, you should have a planning system when it comes to tournaments. You have to plan your tournaments in advance, and you should also know when to play tournaments, which tournaments to play, and most importantly, which tournaments to absolutely avoid. And many players, even many coaches, when I say something like this, they get very defensive. They say like, hey, but you know what, you should be able to play any tournament. And I get it. To one extent, that advice is right. But you need to also understand the psychological part of how the human brain works. Our human brain works on a simple principle of appreciation and demotivation. So let's just say if I win a game against a strong player, I get the appreciation. If I lose a game against a lower rated player or a player who I was supposed to win, then I would get demotivated. Now the problem is, if you do not select your tournaments right, it can happen that when you wanted to get the appreciation, to get the boost, you actually sink down and you do not get that boost. So when you don't get that boost, you slowly start doubting yourself. And when that happens, you would be able to relate, you will get all kinds of thoughts. Am I good enough? Am I really made for this? I'm never going to be a professional chess player. And that's the reason, if you want to avoid all of this, you want to avoid the trauma and you want to get the massive growth, you need to select the tournaments for yourself. Once you understand this, once you have the three elements in place, you would realize that it's not very difficult for you to make chess progress. And the important part is it's not really hard. And if you want to know more that Heramb, how exactly should I implement these three things? How exactly should I use these three things? And what are the exact measures so that all three things come in place? All you need to do is click the link below and join our special program. If you do that, I can tell you at the end of this program, you would have all three components in place. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, click the subscribe button below and hit the bell icon. And I would share more of my knowledge with you in the next video. Till then, thank you and bye-bye.